This is historic.
This is a historic day. Patrons, thank you for joining us here at No Way Jose. Jose Canseco, Martin Montana. You're like, who's in the middle? Who's the guy?
It's not Bigfoot. It's not an alien.
It's not a Bigfoot. It's not an alien. So
who's the old guy?
Wait a minute. I'm close to your age now. Stop it.
Is that Martin's dad? No, it's not my dad. This is Glenn Hinchy, who, by the way, was the very first patron to jump on board. So, Glenn, cool. You didn't expect this.
No, not at all.
But you live in Vegas.
I do.
And you hit us up. You sent some messages. You made some comments. And so Jose and I were like, you know what? You know who needs to be in the house? Glenn Hinchy. That's who needs to come by. So, Glenn, welcome, first of all.
Thank you very much.
I know you're a fan of Jose's. You followed his career and all that good stuff.
That's kind of why, like I said when I got here, it's a little surreal. But
it only gets more surreal, more scary, and more ominous, and shit happens. But so, Glenn, tell fans, patrons, the people out there how we met.
Well, back in October of last year, you had your grand opening at Jose
Canseco's
Showtime Car Wash. That's right.
And I brought in a couple items to be autographed.
Right.
That day I was kind of in awe. And I was like, oh, finally get to meet the man up close. And
but tell the people what you said. What did you ask me to do?
Well, one of the first things
This is about, hey, by the way, this show's about the truth. No
hidden
agendas. We're in your face, so come on, spit it out.
One of the first things I got signed after I met him the first time was a nice 8x10 of him and I together.
Yeah.
And good-looking picture of two good-looking guys, but I wanted something special. So I said, Jose, would you be kind enough to say no to drugs? And so he signed it.
And I got
yes.
No.
And then he said, well, is it okay if I say that, but then put down steroids are okay? And I said,
yeah, steroids don't count.
They don't count,
yes.
so it's all good. So yeah, I've got that one in my little man cave, and it's where it belongs.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to one guy actually asked me to sign a syringe. I did an appearance one time.
I like that.
It was a speaking engagement.
This
guy brings these fake movie syringes, and he brought it out. Mr. Canseco, can you sign the syringe? And it was a big. I said, I kind of laughed about it. Yeah, why not? So I signed the syringe. So he's got you beat by a little bit.
I would have asked. No, that's a little.
You met Jose. You got the 8x10 glossy.
That. And
you got it hooked up, right? Say no to drugs. But you're an interesting guy. You got a little history,
his history and my history kind of collide a little in the ways, yeah.
Okay, tell me.
I was a deputy sheriff for 34 years.
Wow.
In Northern California. No, I never had any contact
with him. Did you ever arrest me or give me a ticket or pull me over or give me a warning?
I was like, what if Glenn's just here to serve you? Wouldn't that be great?
We have a warrant for your arrest from 20 years ago.
That'd be good TV.
Him, never arrested him. All I did was go to the Oakland Coliseum and enjoy baseball that he was playing in.
Did you know any people? Did you work with any officers that came into contact with him, or gave him citations, tickets?
I never ever heard anything bad.
What were they hiding under a rock? Because I got speeding tickets. I got pulled over for reckless driving. I got pulled over for tinted windows. I got pulled over for driver's license suspended. Where were you at?
I was in.
You were the nice guy. You were the guy who let me go. And
you probably weren't in Marin County.
No,
that's where I was at. I was
in
Marin County.
Yeah, you're right. Never.
So what kind of stuff would you deal with? Everything? Everything under the sun?
Just not as frequent.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't work in Oakland. I didn't work in San Francisco. But everything that happened to every officer in the United States has happened to me. But it wasn't daily, weekly, monthly. We lived in a pretty quiet area.
But you saw you've seen homicides, you've seen everything, all the drugs
I've seen it.
everything.
Yes,
everything.
Glenn, come on, you got to have a better story than
that.
I got better stories now. Tell us,
Glenn. This isn't. I know there's mics, but it's not a press conference.
Yeah, you're okay. It's okay.
NBC4.
We can edit the guy you shot in the ass out. Don't worry about it.
I'm very proud of the fact.
Never used your gun.
I never used my gun.
Wow.
That's
a good thing.
Other than to. What we use the word called dispatch was to kill an animal. If there was an injured animal, instead of waiting for somebody, it was a mercy killing, basically. Yeah. I did that. And where I worked at, it was pretty frequently.
Yeah.
But I never shot my weapon in anger or self-defense. or in the protection of
How
somebody
about
else.
physically had to take somebody down?
I have taken
Or
down...
was involved in kind of like a physical takedown
I've
of an individual?
had lots of those. I've had a few that were simple, and then I had many that weren't. I have one incident that I look back on that I'm thankful I'm still here. The bad guy wasn't going to go politely, grabbed my gun, was holding on with two hands. I was able to keep it locked in with one hand, and well, let's put it honestly, I hit him over the head repeatedly with a flashlight.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, you got to. He's
Yeah.
okay with this.
Well,
What are you gonna
this
do?
was in the early '80s, and there wasn't much else.
Yeah.
I didn't have tasers.
Yeah.
Didn't have much else. So, but like I mentioned, it happens.
Yeah.
To this day, that gentleman is around. He's still with us. He's thanked me because
Could have got worse.
Could have got a
Coulda
lot
gotten
worse.
out of
hand. Wow.
Somebody could have come up
For sure.
and I could have said, "Take him down," but he didn't, and
Wow.
it worked out good.
Yeah, it did work out good. So, all right, we'll get serious for 1 second. Only 1 second. We're allowed to get serious,
That's
and
all
then I have other questions that are not serious. Your take, the current environment, the police brutality, the Black Lives Matter. I mean, this is all happening now. You worked in it directly, and I don't know what you saw in your time, but I'd be curious that, and also just your thoughts now, because like you worked on that side, so it's a different experience.
I've seen both sides. When I look at what we see on TV, it looks terrible.
Yep.
It looks bad. It looks like the officers are guilty every single time.
Well, hold on, but we know they're not guilty.
That's
every single time.
Right.
But for me, because I'm a minority, some video is, you can't dispute it.
right.
Some stuff.
There's one we'll talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But you know what the funniest thing is about this whole thing is that these officers are wearing body cams and they don't care. So to me, it seems like they're programmed to, in a way, take control of the situation. But are they really being taught the correct way? Meaning they get into this mindset to where it doesn't matter what's going on. They overstep their boundaries. The adrenaline starts flowing and they make mistakes. I also understand that
Yeah.
very rarely is an individual put in to where his life is in danger as an officer. So of course you're human, you're going to make mistakes. But with the proper training, it's kind of, and being backed by more officers,
Yeah.
should those mistakes be made to where it's going to cost an individual their life?
No.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
No. And this started, let's go all the way back to Rodney King.
Sure.
Let's go back. That was a long time ago by standards.
Correct.
And it looked horrendous.
I know Rodney King. I talked to him about it.
You did?
Yes.
And it was, in my opinion, sorry other officers if you're watching.
No, the facts are facts.
It was
Yeah.
horrendous.
Well, I think that's also I'll let you. Sorry to cut you off, but
No.
I mean, I think that's part of it too. It's like in so many of these debates, whether it's this issue or anything with politics, religion, it's like everyone loves to be so black and white, right? Like this has to be good, this has to be bad. Like we all know we're talking about people in general, so it's automatically a mixed bag. I think you can actually say, of course, yes, there are really good police officers
Absolutely.
and people,
Yes.
and yes, there are racist police officers
yes.
and people. So it's not like throw out police and da 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 da,
No,
or
absolutely
you
not.
support it. It's like, I mean, I'm like, no, why don't we weed out anybody who's a racist in anything, first of all, and then second, yeah, like to your point about training and adrenaline and these life or death situations, like you would know way more than us, but like, can that be taught in a different way? So it's not about dominating and force, and let's go through
All
that.
I can speak of is for me, from when I started in 1982 till I left in 2016, the training was totally different.
Yeah.
It was by the time I left, it was extremely realistic. We would do simulators, we would do all kinds of things. In the 80s is, here's your gun, here's your badge.
Do the best you can.
Do the best you can. Here's
Yeah.
your training
Yeah.
program.
I mean,
it
That's
changed
parenting
a
in
lot.
the 80s. I just
Right,
said,
yeah.
I said a kid, like
Yeah.
the things now with the, this, it was like back then, it was like,
Learn on the job.
spank your
Yeah.
kid
Yeah.
and go on with your
And
day.
what we talked about with
Yeah.
what we're seeing on TV and all right now, that's where training is going to come from. It's going to change.
Yeah.
But in the United States, every state is different. The training requirements in California are totally different than the training requirements in Florida.
Right, but to me, I see it crystal clear. The only way to stop that is good police stopping bad police, bad cops. Because this thing about, we're family, we're blood, but so if a couple cops, forget about cops. Let's say, for example, in baseball, I wrote a #1 best-selling book, Juice. I told the truth. But when you walk into a stadium, when you walk into the clubhouse, there's a sign on every single clubhouse. You know what it says? What you see here, what you say here, what you do here must stay here. Yeah. Now, that's to say this. If I walk into the clubhouse, I read that.
Yeah.
I see 2 players raping an underage girl. Because in every clubhouse, there's sections that you can go to do shit like that.
Wow. Okay.
Am I supposed to just close my eyes, turn away, and do nothing? Or am I supposed to stop that and say, hey, listen, that's wrong, what you're doing. Stop it right now. Or else I'm going to do something or say something, but this is going to stop.
Right.
Same thing. If an officer is watching another officer commit a crime, committing an infraction, or going overboard on physically manhandling an individual, shouldn't that officer step in and say, hey, listen, that's wrong. You got to stop. It's wrong. But that's not happening.
No, it's not.
Right.
You made that statement about what's on the thing. That's kind of the way it was when I started. Now, I can't speak for right now because I'm not involved like I was. But it was a kind of situation of if you saw something, you just
agreed with your fellow officer and just let it go and cover him and back him up.
As time changed, even in my time, that wasn't the case. Towards the end, when I left, if you had an officer that was doing something wrong, you were just as guilty as they were. So if you valued your career and your lifestyle, you spoke up. You stepped in front.
Yeah.
What we saw, sadly, on some of those recent videos, some of the officers are just watching.
Yeah.
Listen, and the main thing that's got to bother you and bother the public is that they're being videoed and they're kind of fixated or obsessed with still doing what they're doing. They're not realize it's almost like they're possessed by some type of aggression demon.
Yeah.
Something's going on to where, I'm videoing you. I don't care. Or the knee to the neck, or I'm choking you. I got you handcuffed down. I got your legs tied down. And at that point, even though 100 people video these people, they're still fixated like
some of them,
like a mad dog.
Some of them we've seen. Yeah.
Listen, I got officers that are great people, friends of
course,
from the past, even now, great people.
Yes.
But what you have to understand is that these great people, the only way that's going to stop is if the great officers put a stop to it internally. Yes. No one else is going to come out from the outside.
But that's
and stop that.
Right. Well, also, though, I have to add, though, if that happens to your point, no one stops them, and then the system somehow gets them off every time, then it's like the trifecta, because it's like, I agree with what you're saying, and then let's just say, it slipped through and no one was able to stop them, and it was just so clear cut. Wow. And then they go, like, how many of these trials? And you're like, okay, this one, at least they're going to do it right. Nope, no conviction, or slap on the wrist, and you're like, I'm sorry? And it's like, that's when it gets.
So what's happening to the recent one, the big one with that, the Floyd?
George Floyd.
Yeah. So I haven't heard anything. Has anybody been imprisoned? Has anybody been charged with anything?
Yes,
Do we hear? Well,
they've been charged.
With what?
But, see, that's the thing. And
with what? Spank you in the hand, maybe some house arrest.
Yeah,
what?
well,
no murder, no manslaughter.
Originally, it was manslaughter. Is what I remember.
Not murder.
It was manslaughter. Yeah. But now, if you watch, it's sadly there's other incidents that are kind of taking precedent. So you're not hearing what's taking place.
That's crazy.
You'll see the video of that one officer holding him down, knee on his neck. Again, camera, I'm looking right at it. It looked wrong. I believe it was wrong. I wasn't there, but I believe it was excessive.
Glenn, the only thing is, when you have that video, it's such strong evidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
My eyes won't lie to me. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So when I saw the video, I was thinking, did this really happen in today's society?
Oh, yeah. Sadly, yeah.
The guy is, forget about what happened before that. The fact of the matter is, what I saw visually, the guy's down. The guy's subdued. He's got his arms tied behind his back. He got another officer holding him down, his legs down. Where's he going? Right. He's almost stuck in a little gutter area. He can't move. Where's he going? Now, even if he's tied down, you think, you motherfucking cop, this, that, motherfucking white, this, that. What can he do to you? Nothing. What's the worst he can do? Spit at you. Okay? You've got the guy down. You've got him subdued. Now, there's people filming. They have body cams on. And an officer decides to do what? I'm trying to put myself in the officer's shoes and think, what made him? Let me tell you, I've done martial arts. I have 3 black belts. I've done all kind of wrestling. When you have an individual subdued, let's say I put you in a headlock.
Which we'll do in a minute, coming right back now.
Yeah, but, and I have you knocked out. Okay, I let you go, you fall on the ground. Does it make any sense for me to hold on to you so you can't get oxygen to the brain for 5 fucking minutes?
No.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. It's so much overkill. I just want to subdue you and stop you. So I'm trying to think, does this officer have a mental problem, an issue, or racist? Was he possessed? What happened to where, again, even me, I'm 6'4", 270 pounds. I got my arms tied behind my back. My legs tied, an officer on me, and I'm sideways. I can't move. My own body weight doesn't let me move.
Yeah.
And a guy's applying pressure to the artery on my neck with a knee. And the guy weighs like 220 pounds. What are you doing? And not even that.
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
Not even that. Let's continue. People are filming and telling him, get off, get off, get off. He can't breathe. The guy's saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, please. Guys are telling him, get off, get off, get off. And he is fixated on this.
Yeah.
Well, now, he was looking at the cameras.
Now, at this point in time, to me, and I'm going to be honest with you, he has a choice. Get off. Everyone's telling him what's going on. Or stay on. He made a decision to stay. That's premeditated murder. Once you have enough time to make a decision,
right? Yeah, it could be.
To change the act, I know the law pretty well. To change the act of what you're doing, he looked up. He was being warned. He didn't change. He went back, stayed there till dead.
Yeah.
That's a premeditation right there.
So
now, that's a major problem. Where were the fucking other cops?
Right? Yeah.
If I'm there, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a cop, I'm going to pull that guy off him. That's not going to happen on my watch. That's ridiculous.
Well, all I know for sure is one of the officers was a trainee. I know that based on reading.
Oh, really?
So what happens with that? He's afraid.
He's scared.
He's probably afraid.
He's scared.
What is it? What has he just witnessed? Is he even an officer anymore? I don't know.
Right.
And it's like,
it's so sad. It's so sad.
It's again what I said, what I saw in that.
So what would you? Let me ask you this: with your experience, what? That is a hard question, but what would you do to fix it? Because it's always I'm like a solution guy because it's so clear what the problem
After
is.
the fact?
No, meaning like how would you fix this issue of police brutality, basically getting out the wrong people from the system, and that's what it's about.
It can only be done internally, and
it can be done internally, but it truthfully, it's never going to completely.
Yeah,
not completely, but
you can change it.
How do you shift it back to a certain?
It may take literally a generation of officers that are coming in now.
Yeah.
They're young. They're in their mid-20s. They need to become the supervisors.
Right.
They need to be the ones in charge.
Right.
They need to set the example through their career going, okay, you guys all know right up front, if this happens on our watch, you're out of here and the district attorney is going to take over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because part of it was,
Jose's got to take his meds.
I'm getting angry.
Yeah. All right.
it's
it's so sad, and it is. And
I've loved my career.
Yeah.
I had a good career. I had good people. I never had an incident like that.
And I think it's like that's the major issue is the major issue. But this, of course, like I feel for people in general. So it's like, yeah, like I wouldn't want a good person who happens to be a police officer to constantly be getting harassed by everybody. It's like that's not the problem. But when people want to lump everything in, this is good, this is bad, this is this is that. It's like it's never that simple. It's not like get rid of police. This idea. It's like no, you can't we need police. Like they put their lives on the line to help us.
There is a reason for us,
but
it's
tough. It's just it's tough.
It kind of brings back the issue to me that I had a fight with Hung Man Choi in Japan.
Yeah,
the 7'2",
yes.
400.
Have you seen this video?
I know of it. Yes.
Okay, and he almost killed me. But when he had me on the ground, he pounded me on the head. Yeah. And then when I tapped out, he got off of me right away.
Right.
He said, poor guy, I'm already killing him. He's subdued. Right. He got off. Imagine if Hung Man Choi would have stayed on me and kept pounding on me.
That would have been it.
I would have been toast.
That would have been it. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a terrible example.
Kind of stretch.
What's up, Hung Man Choi?
Yeah.
How about you and I doing it again?
We got to get him on. Hung Man Choi, we're going to reach out to you.
First of all, Hung Man Choi's not going to fit in this. He's so tall and big.
We'll adjust the framing. Yeah,
we'll adjust the framing.
All right, so switching gears, and thank you for that. Thank you for your opinions, man, and all the work that you did.
Part of